Howdy do, fella kids. It is the professional Dillweed here, and welcome back to another video. And today I'm doing a first ride on the 2021 Yamaha Xmax 300. And pretty similar to my previous video, this is quite the departure to what I usually ride. I'm usually on sports bikes and fast naked bikes. However, they brought this to my attention, and apparently these are actually pretty popular, and I believe I can see why. I have ridden other 300 scooters, or actually one other 300 scooter, technically a 350. I'm gonna butcher the name, but it's like a Piaggio 350. I don't know, but that thing hauled ass. It had a giant windscreen on it, and it could do 90 miles an hour, no problem. This is a 300, and for a scooter, why does it look aggressive? But if you go down a little bit further, it looks like a face. You have the two main headlights there, you have the high beam that's down there, and it looks like a face. I mean, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And the tail lights as well, they have, once they're turned on, which I guess I'll go ahead and do that, they look so aggressive for just scooter taillights. I don't know. There's something going on with this scooter, and I think I'm a fan of it. And I have borrowed this Xmax from Freedom Power Sports up here in Canton, Georgia. They're your go-to dealership for just about anything. They have some really nice people and a really nice inventory, including this here Xmax. And they've told me quite a few of you guys have actually could come up to come see me, but unfortunately I'm only here once to twice a week. Shout out to the guys who actually came all the way out here to come say hi to me, but unfortunately I wasn't here to say hello. But anyways, if you guys are in the Greater Atlanta area, or if you're not, be sure you come check them out. Be sure to tell them I sent you. Alright, so I guess I can now go over the quirks and features of this bike. Daddy Doug, please don't sue me, but anyway, something that stood out to me is this faux forged carbon fiber around the exhaust tip. I think that's the look they were going for. Here's some forged carbon fiber on my Ridge wallet. Hashtag not sponsored, but I guess. Moving on to the key fob, it's pretty basic. You have a power button, you press it, and you lock and unlock it. The little beeping noise that it makes is pretty funny. You either walking up or walking away to your scooter. Oh, did I lock my scooter? Oh, I did now. I don't know. I just find that hilarious. But this is actually pretty dummy proof. See, if you leave it somewhat on and you start to walk away from it, it'll start yelling at you, calling you an idiot, saying, "Hey, turn me all the way off." And then you come over here and you do the walk of shame over to your scooter because you forgot to turn it all the way off, and then you're good again. But another thing I wanted to say, this is actually my first video of me filming something with my entirely new setup. I got a brand new helmet, I got the new GoPro Hero 9, I got the new Cena 50S, all very expensive, but I got a nice full carbon fiber helmet so I can mitigate the amount of weight that I put on my head because of how much gear I slap onto it anyway. I'm also a really big fan of the matte navy blue. I also saw that there was one that had like the blue wheels. Not one that they have here, but for whatever reason that looked kinda cool. But anyways, with all that out of the way, let's hop on this thing. And something else I found kind of funny, whenever you go to turn it on, any second now, it says welcome on board, as if you're hopping onto a jet ski. I don't know, I'm easily amused. But to turn this thing on, this thing just does a whole bunch of stuff. Like, this is like your main control for it to turn it on and off. You want your gas cap, yeah, that's how you open it. And with it being a scooter, you get a heck ton of storage for all of your various stuff. But it says you can only put 11 pounds of stuff in here, which is strange. And you also got a light in here so you can see all your various stuff at night. And you're like, that doesn't seem like too much space. But then you press here for lid, and you got a little power outlet in there, and maybe some room for your, I don't know, your Glock? I don't know. Alright, I kind of got sidetracked there. I had to show you some more quirks and features. But let's go ahead and get these mirrors adjusted so we can see who's losing. Alright, and let's get this thing cranked up. Pull in the brake, and I actually did it correctly, which I find astounding. But anyways, let's get going. Obviously, there's no clutch. This thing is fully automatic, so you just give her a twist of the old throttle here, and she'll start putting along. And of course, it's whisper quiet, as a scooter should be. However, unlike traditional scooters, this thing's supposedly proper quick. Full pin. Full pin. That's not too bad for a scooter. People will get behind you thinking you're a 50cc and be like, I'm gonna have to get around this guy, but then you take off doing mock Jesus. See, I just blew the doors off of a Kia Niro. But one thing I'm debating on, do I want to take this thing on the interstate? Do I really want to? The answer is probably not. Am I going to? More than likely. The last time I was riding my buddy's scooter, this guy in a big lifted truck pulled up next to me. He was like, oh, where you headed on that little thing? And I felt like the only proper response was, well, thank you for asking, but I'm headed to your mother's house. There's a water drop that just fell from the sky. But nothing better than to test any sort of two-wheeled vehicle in wet conditions. But also, I realized that I spent too much time digging through the quirks and features to where I'd never looked up the specs of this thing, other than it being just around 300 cc's. But here's the specs, but I'm sure you guys already knew that. As far as rideability goes, of course, this thing's really comfortable. At least around here on city streets. We're going to have to figure out if the same applies to the highway, which I'm a little scared for, if I'm going to be honest. I almost made a mistake of pulling in this like it was a clutch, but doing so will actually just lock up my rear brake. It's raining, but from where? Alright, well, here we go, getting onto the interstate. The question is, do I zoom by the ZL1? I think the answer is yes. He just got pranked. I think I just zoomed past him doing 75 miles an hour, which for whatever reason actually didn't feel like 75. This wind deflector is doing a rather good job of masking the speed that I'm going. And it also, whenever you're riding a scooter and your knees are, well, behind the front, it greatly mitigates any sort of wind, especially if you tuck them in like so. You really hardly feel anything. Holy crap, this is mildly terrifying. But I am going highway speeds, even though the highway here on 575, the speed limit is 70. And for whatever reason, I could feel that F-150 passing me as far as wind goes. 4 out of 10 would not recommend doing this, because if I got passed by a semi-truck, and that would be, I feel like, terrifying, because this thing is very much a whole lot of plastic, and it doesn't weigh a whole lot. I am currently full throttle going up this hill, doing about 75 miles an hour. It's still pulling, it's not giving up. It wasn't decelerating either. I do feel like getting this out here on the interstate was a mild mistake. It just doesn't have a whole lot of weight to it, and too much of a wind change, I feel like, could really alter your course. Get me off the interstate, please. And also, with how narrow these tires are, it doesn't like it. But maybe after owning this for a while, you would get used to the way it feels. But I can't say I've owned this, well, because I don't, and I don't feel all too terribly comfortable with how that felt. And now back on roads where this thing's a little bit more comfortable. Yes, that was in fact full throttle. It is properly raining, but if you duck behind everything like so, there's hardly any wind noise, but you kind of look, in all sense of the term, stupid, but you're avoiding getting wet. Alrighty. We have survived. Looks like I have some friends whomst has joined us. We have a Husqvarna, as well as a Suzuki C50. Well, okay. And there it goes, yelling at me. But one thing I wanted to point out was, thank you, Mr. Honda. One thing I wanted to point out is like these LEDs that run through the headlights. They look so good. But this isn't as embarrassing as riding a little a 50cc. But I actually enjoyed this whenever I was just on the old city streets. However, it did get a little sketchy on the interstate. I'm just going to be honest with you there. Alright, but if you guys have any other suggestions as to what you want to see me ride next, be sure you leave a comment below and I will try my best to get my hands on one. Here coming soon, they're getting the brand new ZX-10R in, so stick around for that. But with that being said, that is when we start wrapping up today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure you show some support by dropping a like. If you're new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button. And most importantly, be sure you hit that booty. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.